I'd imagine. He's not here, unfortunately. He's back in LA. It's good to see you, though. I was going to say in your last interview, you called out Benavidez. You were doing some crazy callers. I want to see more of this today.
Look, I'm going to tell you like this, so I was hanging out with Benavidez the other day, so, we squashed the beef, especially because, we know he's too afraid to come down to 147, so that's that.
Did you tell him about the call out? What was his reaction to this?
No, when I walked in the first thing, he was like, oh, so now we're going to fight around. I'm like, come down 147. You don't want to come down 147. So I'm like, bro, come on. Yeah. You got all that height on me. At least give me the weight advantage, right?
Well, we'll have to get you both on Fight Hub and maybe do a head-to-head, see what would happen if you actually got in the ring one day. I want to speak about some other topics in boxing. Obviously, we've had the Canelo Crawford press conferences. I know you've spoken about this fight with us. What did you make of it? It kicked off a little bit. There was some pushing, shoving. It's building hype slowly. Some people aren't the biggest fan of the fight because of the weight differences. I know you haven't necessarily been on Canelo's side, but after seeing the press conferences, do you think it's building hype, and what do you make of the back and forth we've seen so far?
Who said I watched the press conference? The press conference.
Is that how much you dislike Canelo?
No, I just didn't watch it. I didn't even know when it was. It was like last week or something, no? Yeah, I haven't, like I said, I've been so hyper-focused on what I've been doing. Like, the only thing I've been doing, like I said, is reading, and like I said, I've been studying because I want to take my Series 7, so I've had absolutely no time to really do anything else.
Have you been watching the new Squid Game?
No, I haven't, but because I finished reading the Bible, I think on the way back, I'm going to watch the whole new season.
Yeah. When you go back up to your room, there's something to do. Okay, just quickly then on the fight, because you have mentioned this previously, but how do you think the styles, the weight differences, and actually seeing Crawford getting bigger, how do you think this is going to impact the fight with obviously Crawford's performance against Madrimov, but then Canelo's performance against Skull? They both didn't look their best they ever have. How do you see this fight playing out with that in mind?
Skull's a big dude that was just running around the ring. Crawford don't just move around like that. So you can't really, I don't know, you guys are trying to, compare, apples to oranges. You can't, you can't compare, because his performance against this person and this, no, dude, Skull fights nothing like Crawford.
No, you don't.
So are you effectively saying, do you think Crawford's going to win?
I hope so.
The question I have in mind is, obviously, Canelo has fought a lot taller fighters, Callum Smith, loads of taller fighters, don't need to name every single one. Do you think, in the same sense that you don't need to be the bigger, taller, necessarily stronger fighter to win, it's your argument for why you think Crawford will win? He doesn't need to be as big as Canelo.
Oh, no, I definitely didn't say Crawford could win. I said I hope so. You don't just move up 3 weight division. It's been 2 weight divisions, but it's 3, because they only fought 1. But you don't move up 2 weight divisions artificially and expect to, win. There's, that's not something that happens, Are you still going to be fast? And, the jump from, let's say, for instance, 35 to 47 is 12 pounds, while really 47 to 68 or 54 to 68 is a lot more weight, Yeah, so it's a big difference. You're thinking about way bigger guys, And you're talking about a dude that's been camping at that division. I'm going to ask you, do you think Crawford punches harder than Triple G? Do you think Crawford is more durable than Triple G?
Depends what weight, really.
Triple G has a granite jaw.
He does. He absolutely does.
Okay. Do you think? I don't know. Do you think Crawford?
Undefeated.
So there's a lot of undefeated people that Devin Haney's undefeated. Devin Haney's undefeated.
But controversial. Continue.
There's a lot that Abel Mendoza kid's undefeated, no? Or he just lost it, or no? Something like that. But, like, dude, like, bro, there's a lot of undefeated fighters that, like, you know, just because you're undefeated, I mean, I'm not saying Crawford's not a pound-for-pound great fighter. I mean, he's a two-time undisputed. Maybe, hopefully, he becomes a three-time undisputed, you know, and, you know, kicks it off. But, I mean, I truly don't see it happening. I hope he does it, though. I hope he does it. But, like, I mean, like I say, I mean, even is Crawford really a better pure boxer than Lara or Floyd? That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a hard, you know, it's a hard pick, you know. But bro, like if they're both at 54, oh, for sure. Let's see what happens. You know, now that right there is a fight of fireworks because it's at 68. It's a completely different fight. Also, Floyd and Lara fought for Canelo at 54, where Canelo was still, you know, a little baby chick. He wasn't full grown like he is now.
How dangerous do you think it could be with the weight you just said there? Effectively 3, obviously he's fought at a higher weight in between, but still with the amount he's putting on for this fight, how dangerous do you think it could be?
Bro, I mean, I don't know. I can't say. I know you don't move up weight divisions artificially. You move up weight divisions when your body tells you to move up. So, every fight I moved up weight divisions artificially, it's very rare that it goes good.
What is your beef with Canelo? Do you just not want him to win the fight? Is it tongue-in-cheek, or is it really, like, is there something deeper?
It was so disrespectful. That fight that he did with Skull, it's like he didn't even try to win, bro. He went there for a paycheck. And it's disrespectful to boxing, bro. And he's cashing out of boxing, bro. It's sad to see, man, a great fighter, a legend, to be over there and just trying to cash out of boxing any way he can. It's honestly, it's a disgrace to the sport.
Wow. I know one day we hope to see Rolly versus Benavidez, but if you don't fight him, do you think Canelo ever wants that fight? Obviously, there's a lot of speculation. People don't think he does.
They call him the Mexican monster because everybody's scared of him, so Benavidez would destroy Canelo, not even close.
There's a couple of more things that I want to talk to you about. Obviously, Ryan Garcia was meant to be here. I'm not making any claims, but I obviously noticed you'd be here. Do you think there was a chance that he thought, okay, I want to kind of... Do you think he wants the rematch, doesn't want to be in your presence? Do you think that could be part of the reason why he hasn't turned up to this IBA event?
I don't know. I don't know why he's not here. I didn't even know he was going to be here.
But now you've heard that, do you think it could be because... Sorry, now you've heard that, do you think it could be because you're here?
No. What does he think I'm going to do? Slap him? I'm not going to do anything, bro. Like, dude, like, I'm cool with him. I'm not an aggressive person. I'm a lover.
Yeah, just to point out, I don't officially know the reason, but it was something that crossed my mind. Do you think he wants the rematch with you at this stage?
I mean, I think so. I mean, I was really hoping to see him and Devin Haney again, but okay. However,
what do you want things change day by day in this boxing world? Fights get made. We'll talk about Devin Haney's fight in a moment. Now we've kind of, the dust has more than settled. Do you want the rematch? What do you want at the moment?
Manny Pacquiao.
So you're going to be watching the fight against Mario Barrios. What do you make of his comeback?
I said, man, it's a tremendous fight. You know, like I'm curious to see where Manny Pacquiao is now. And Barrios is he's tough. Barrios is tough, man. So we'll see what happens.
You called out Benavidez in the last interview. Are you going to call out Manny Pacquiao now?
I've been calling him out, but I mean, to have a Hall of Fame fighter, the only 8 division world champion in boxing, 8 division world champion in boxing history. on my resume, that would be nothing but incredible. So, yeah. That would be nothing but incredible. So, yeah.
Did you watch the boxing at the weekend talking Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.?
Yeah, of course, yeah, I saw it. Jake Paul shocked the world again, so...
Is that a shock?
Bro, you're talking about a dude who... I mean, he was world champion and defended his belt 3 times. So, man, of course... And bro, he's a high-level fighter.
I'm a fan of Jake Paul. I've never once said that he shouldn't get credit. But we expect him to win, even though he's beaten a former world champion, and I truly believe he can be a world champion one day. Is that something you would agree with, that Jake could be a world champion? And who in the current picture do you think he could beat?
Who are the champions right now? I know they got that Jai dude, which my bad, and I know who he was when I did when I did the rankings, you know. But he's actually a real good fighter. Yeah, there's Zurdo, there's who else is
They're the guys, the unification fight. They're the big names in that division.
But Zurdo only has one, but how many belts did Jai have? 2?
I think so, yeah.
So who has the other belt?
I'm not sure.
I mean, Jake Paul can be world champion, bro. He'll find a way. He's gonna find a way.
He actually is open to fight Zurdo. I don't think that's gonna happen soon. But if he was to actually fight him within the next 2 years, someone that's in their prime as opposed to his other opponents, I mean, that's going to be a lot tougher of a fight for him. How do you think that would play out?
Stop.
Jake Paul finds a way. He's going to find a way. So, I mean...
Against Zurdo? Prime Zurdo?
But the thing is, you know, like I said, Zurdo a little too difficult right now, but I mean, I'm sure he'll find a way to get a world title shot, and by the time he finds it, he'll be ready, you know?
Not far off that weight of Benavidez as well. Maybe he goes into a fight with him. What did you make?
You know, that's what I want to see. I want to see Benavidez versus Zurdo. That's what I want to see. Maybe Benavidez move up and become a 3-division world champion. That'd be cool.
Yes.
You don't think that would be cool?
I do.
I don't think the other 2 belt holders at the division want to fight Benavidez. So, I think the only one that's ever called out Benavidez is me.
Final one for me then. Devin Haney, Brian Norman, the KO assassin. Looks like it could be happening later on this year. What do you make of that fight? Brian Norman's exciting, hungry fighter with knockout power. Devin's the complete opposite style. How do you think this fight plays out? Do you know much about Brian Norman? Talk to us about this fight.
Brian Norman's a tremendous fighter. He punches hard and all that stuff. I hope they put that fight in a small ring, and they put ankle weights on both of them, so Devin Haney don't run around like a turkey with his head cut off.
Who do you think wins?
Like he did against Romero.
Oh, I hope Brian Norman flatlines him.
But who do you think wins? What does the boxing IQ, boxing mind of Rolly Romero think happens in this fight?
This is Brian Norman's pro debut. It's not saying nothing. This is Brian Norman's first test. So this is pro debut. So we'll see how Brian Norman does, you know. And if he's able to pressure Devin, or if Devin's going to run around like a turkey, you know, and see if, you know, Brian Norman's going to have to work on cutting off the ring a lot because, I mean, obvious reasons.
Very last one. Did you hear about Turkey's comments talking about no Tom and Jerry running around the ring? Obviously, he would have been referring to what happened with Devin and other fighters as well. What did you make of those comments?
Look, the Tom and Jerry thing, right? So no Tom and Jerry, but you're going to keep giving these Tom and Jerry fighters opportunities.
Exactly.
That's how I feel about it.
He was talking about Devin Haney.
It's good to see you here. Though. We're both pretty tired. You've flown in today. Where have you flown in from, and how long was your flight?
Miami. It was about 12 hours. And Yeah, Miami, 12 hours. It was but I was up the whole time. I didn't sleep. I mean, I had a lay flat, but I just didn't sleep because I finished reading the Bible finally. Like the finished completely read the whole thing, the Old Testament. So I'm actually feel really accomplished with it. I'm happy. I did that. And now time to read it again and again and again.
How long did it take you to read that? And was it before the Ryan fight that you started reading it? I'll hold the mic. But how long did it take you to read the Bible?
I started reading it really at the beginning of 2024, and little by little I started reading it a little by little as I did. But I started the Old Testament, and then. So I read Genesis and Exodus, super good books. I love the story of Joseph, and then obviously the Israelites out of Israel, out of Egypt. But then you get to Numbers and Leviticus, and it's just repetitive. So I was like, and I burnt myself out for a minute, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna read the whole New Testament. So I read the whole New Testament in a week. Yeah, I've read it 3 times now, and then I just, little by little, I'll go back to the Old Testament and come back, and so I finally finished the whole Old Testament now.
That's an achievement. That is good that you can come here with that kind of belief, and you feel like you're in a better place when you do those kind of things, and it feels like you're closer to God, closer than ever right now. Are you in the best period of your career, the best period in your life, would you say, at the moment?
Rock bottom. Coming out of rock bottom. I was at rock about like 2, 3, 4 hours after I fought Ryan. I was at rock bottom. So it hurt. It's crazy. You get the biggest high of your life, and then you get the rock bottom of your life. Rock bottom when you have everything's a lot different than when you're at rock bottom when you had nothing. Because I remember my rock bottom at nothing compared to what I have today.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, Rolly Romero. Good to be back on Fight Hub.